Hi guys, hello again. Welcome to With Anderson. For the guys who've been with me before, you know what this is all about. For the new guys, this is just about explaining terms, financial in plain English so you can understand it. Let me get right to it. We're going to talk today about an initial public offering, and we're going to compare that to initial coin offering. The first initial public offering that was ever done was done in 1604. It was done by a company called the Dutch East India Company. Guys, this was not only the first IPO, it was the largest company by today's dollars in the history of the world. Let's think about this in gross domestic product. Gross domestic product is the amount that a country produces in finished goods and services. The United States in, I think, 2018, the GDP or gross domestic product was about, I want to say, 20 trillion. The Dutch East India Company was about estimated between 7 and 17 trillion dollars. There will never be a company that big. Well, in any event, let's talk about some other companies you know of. You know all about AT&T Wireless and Bank of China, and you know about General Motors becoming IPOs. Talk about ones that didn't work that well. If you remember in the 90s, there was a company called Pets.com with that really irritating little puppet that they had. You know, I think they probably made more money from selling that puppet than they did with the company. But in any case, they spent half their budget, I was told, on one Super Bowl ad. Well, Pets.com is gone. Also, there was Vonage. Remember Vonage with voice over IP? Lawsuits didn't make it. There's also Adam Newman's WeWorks. Speaking of disaster, this company didn't make a dime. They spent more money, and they spent money more rapidly than most companies do. So SoftBank had to real limit. Why does somebody need an IPO, an initial public offering? Well, you want to raise money to fund a project, expansion, or you want to do some marketing, or you want to reward the initial stockholders. And how it works is you would involve an investment bank like a Goldman Sachs, and with you as a company owner would have two choices. You can stay private and go through the bank loan process and get money that way, or you can go public and you can, in any case, raise the money that way. But in either case, one would go to a couple of things, whether you stay private or public. You still need to do a friends and family round where all your friends and family participate. You still need an angel financer, someone to get you started, and then you may look for private placement or venture capital. Eventually that brings you to the investment bank, and the investment bank takes care of things like making sure your stock maintains its integrity for the first day, does what is called a book building process, where they go out there, they try to price the stock properly so you don't underprice or overprice the stock, like what happened with Uber and Lyft. They were overvalued, money was left on the table. Some more IPOs, Apple, US Steel, you know them all. Nippon Telephone, the largest being Sony Aramco, a state-owned $25 billion company. Well, the advantages in getting an IPO is that you tend to get the wealth funds, the pension funds, the high net individuals tend to invest in them. They tend to be bigger. The due diligence process or the process on how they do assessments on the worth of your company and on your financials is very done very well. The disadvantage is that it takes a long time. There's a lockup period for you, and it is delusive. Let's go for a moment to an ICO really quickly. And the first ICO was sold in 2013. It was called Mastercoin. But the first ICO coin the first ICO was Ethereum in 2014. The first Ethereum coin sold for 3,700 BTC, which at that time was equivalent to $2.3 million. ICOs out there, there was NEO, a blockchain ICO, that was launched in China. It competes with Ethereum. There are ICOs out there that was for the Internet of Things, a company that concepted that, built on a different technology other than what ICOs are built today. It's called Tangle. I'm not going to get into that. And then there was a OneCoin ICO out there that went completely bankrupt because the money was stolen. So you had to be very careful with ICOs. Another one that comes to mind was a company called Luminar, which does LADAR. LADAR is like radar, but it's light generated, and it's supposed to be better for autonomous vehicles. They're not doing that well. I just looked up one I've been following for years called Droplex. That ICO isn't even listed on the exchange anymore. So, you can also use an ICO to fund a nonprofit organization. So how do they work? One would develop a concept. From the concept, you develop a white paper. Now, a white paper, do not confuse with an S1 document that you would get from an IPO. A white paper is just someone's thoughts. And from the white paper, there would be a crowdfunding day or some type of way to raise capital, and people would invest. There are no roadshows, no book building process, as I explained before in an ICO. There is an issue with whether or not the percentage of IPOs really make it. There's a very high failure rate. But the advantage is that you can get in, if you find the right one, you can get in on the ground for opportunity. For the sense, let's say you got in on Ethereum back in 2014, you'd be more than welcome. But the risk, because of low governance, the fact that the SEC and the IRS treat ICOs differently, and they're treated differently all over the world, it may not be prime time for it. Okay, so that's about all I really have to say about what an ICO is as compared to an IPO. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up, and please give me a like and subscribe, and have a great day.